Have you ever been on the receiving end of someone's aggression and wished you could turn the tables? What if you could subtly influence an aggressive person to rethink their actions and even feel remorse? In today's video, I'll share 7 psychological techniques that can shift the power dynamics in your favor, making even the most aggressive person reconsider their approach. Stay tuned to learn how to master these dark psychology tricks effectively and ethically. Let's get started. Trick number 1, the power of empathy. Empathy wields transformative power in conflicts, particularly with aggressive individuals. Rather than condoning their behavior, empathizing with their emotions serves as a strategic approach to de-escalate tension. This technique involves actively listening and genuinely acknowledging the emotions driving their aggression. When you verbally mirror back an understanding of their feelings, like saying, "I see this really matters to you," it shows respect for their perspective, even if you disagree with their actions. This acknowledgement can be disarming. It often leads aggressors to lower their defenses and reconsider their approach, making them more receptive to dialogue. Moreover, expressing empathy helps shift the interaction from a potential confrontation to a conversation, fostering a space where solutions can be discussed. Importantly, this strategy requires sincerity to be effective, as feigned empathy can exacerbate the situation. Using empathy judiciously can transform aggressive encounters into opportunities for mutual understanding and problem-solving. If you are enjoying this video, please like it, share it with your friends who need it, and subscribe to this channel for more powerful content on dark psychology. Trick number 2, verbal mirroring. Verbal mirroring is a communication strategy where you echo the emotions or words of someone else to demonstrate understanding and attentiveness. It's especially effective in situations where tensions may be high, as it helps de-escalate potential conflicts by making the other party feel acknowledged and respected. When you mirror someone verbally, you're not just repeating their words, you're also reflecting their emotional state, which can disarm defensive behaviors. This process involves active listening, where you focus intently on what the other person is saying without planning your rebuttal. By paraphrasing their words thoughtfully, you show that their point of view matters to you, which can soften their approach and lead to more constructive interactions. For example, if a person expresses frustration by saying, "No one listens to me here," a mirroring response might be, "It seems like you're feeling overlooked, and that's frustrating." This acknowledgement can bridge communication gaps and foster more open dialogue. Trick number 3, controlled compliments. Controlled compliments strategically leverage the power of praise to diffuse hostility and shift the dynamics of a conversation with an aggressive person. By acknowledging a positive trait or behavior of the aggressor, even if minimally, you create a sense of validation and rapport. This technique is subtle yet effective. It doesn't agree with the negative behavior, but appreciates the individual's better qualities. For instance, commending someone for their dedication or clarity in expressing their ideas can momentarily distract them from their aggressive stance, making them more receptive to dialogue. The compliment must be genuine and relevant to the context, as insincerity can exacerbate the situation. Additionally, this approach can soften the aggressor's demeanor, as people are generally more cooperative and less defensive when they feel appreciated. Effectively, controlled compliments serve as a psychological bridge, fostering a more constructive interaction by momentarily aligning your perspective with theirs, thus easing tensions and facilitating a more amicable exchange. Trick number 4, the disarming technique. The disarming technique involves using tactical agreement to neutralize conflict, particularly with aggressive statements directed at you. Instead of defending against or escalating the aggression, you acknowledge the valid part of what the aggressor says, effectively disarming the hostility. This approach is based on the psychological principle that agreement can reduce the perceived threat, leading to a more amenable conversation atmosphere. For example, when faced with an accusation of misunderstanding, such as, "You just don't understand the issue," responding with, "You're right, I may not fully understand your point yet. Could you explain it further?" shifts the dynamic. This not only acknowledges the aggressor's feeling of being misunderstood, but also invites them to share more about their perspective, potentially deepening mutual understanding. By doing this, you turn a potentially volatile exchange into an opportunity for dialogue, encouraging the other party to explain their stance rather than attacking yours, paving the way for a more constructive and less confrontational interaction. Trick number 5. Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology is a psychological technique where you suggest the opposite of what you want, anticipating that the other person will react contrary to your suggestion. This method can be particularly effective with individuals who have a natural tendency to resist authority or oppose suggestions directly. When applied correctly, it can lead the person to reconsider their aggressive stance, thinking they are making their own choice, while moving towards your desired outcome. This approach requires a deep understanding of the individual's motivations and is often used in scenarios where direct confrontation would escalate tensions. It's essential to use reverse psychology sparingly and ethically, as its misuse can lead to mistrust or further conflict. The key is subtlety and timing. Presenting the idea as though it were their own can effectively redirect their actions without obvious manipulation. However, it's a strategy fraught with risk, as misjudging the situation or the person's reactions can backfire, reinforcing their original behavior. Trick number 6. The power of suggestion. The power of suggestion is a subtle yet potent tool in influencing the direction of a conversation, particularly with an aggressive individual. By using carefully chosen phrases, you can nudge the conversation towards a more productive and less confrontational path. Phrases like, "Perhaps we can find a common ground on this," not only propose a collaborative approach, but also imply that both parties have valid points worth considering. This method leverages the psychological principle of compliance, where the aggressor, feeling acknowledged, might be more open to compromise. Additionally, these suggestions can serve as psychological anchors, setting a tone that values cooperation over conflict. This approach is particularly effective in de-escalating tension as it shifts the focus from individual differences to shared goals, encouraging the aggressor to view you as an ally rather than an adversary. Utilizing this technique requires empathy, patience, and a strategic choice of words to subtly guide the aggressor toward a more amenable attitude without direct opposition. Trick number 7. The fear-then-relief method. The fear-then-relief method leverages an emotional roller coaster where a moment of fear or heightened concern is swiftly followed by a significant sense of relief. This method can be particularly effective because the sudden switch from anxiety to comfort makes individuals more amenable to persuasion and guidance. When people experience fear, they enter a state of alertness and uncertainty, intensifying their emotional responses. Introducing relief immediately after this anxious state can cause a relaxation response, during which their defenses are lowered and they are more likely to agree to proposals or accept guidance, grateful for the resolution of their anxiety. In practice, you might validate someone's intense worry about a problem, amplifying their fear, only to follow with a reassuring and simple solution that you propose. This not only positions you as a problem solver, but also exploits the psychological need for stability, making the person more compliant and open to your subsequent influence, without realizing the manipulation behind the emotional shift. I hope you found these insights into dark psychology helpful, and that they empower you to handle aggressive situations more effectively. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep learning more about managing difficult interactions and transforming them into positive outcomes, don't forget to hit the like button. Your support helps us out. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel for more useful tips and strategies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.